What's up, everybody? Welcome to TPI, Total Podcast Idiots. I definitely butchered that already. Here we are. It's been what, 9 months?
9 months. We've had a TPI baby, right?
Yeah. And look who it is.
Yeah, look who it is.
For those who don't know, we're joined.
That was very funny.
For those who don't know, we're joined by this is RupaScoop.
That's right. It's my birth name. Don't make fun of it.
Yeah, that's right.
The family name.
Rupa, tell us what the teams you manage, so everyone's familiar.
Well, Verne and UMF, which is University of Maine, the Farmington Beavers.
That's right, Farmington.
Yep.
That's what I type into my browser whenever I look for your team.
What do you say?
I said that's what I type into my browser whenever I look for your team, Farmington.
Oh yeah, I think it's the least cool school name maybe in the world, which is what drew me to it. My wife went to college in Maine, so she knew about the school, and so that was the connection.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, I've never been to Maine.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's been a while since we've podcasted, talked about Hardwood. I don't know, this is kind of just a surprise thing. I just got back from a work trip for like a month that took up my time, so I feel much more free and have a little bit of time to try this out again. Hardwood's still on top of my mind for the most part. Even on my trip, I was checking every single day.
It's true. He'd be pinging us in Discord and being like, "Oh, what's going on? What's going on?" Especially recruiting, right? I think you had some recruiting results while you were gone.
That's right. Yeah. I landed Dylan Swanson and I think Sherman Boyer. I don't know when Sherman Boyer committed, but Dominican did some stuff. We survived.
That's why I would just be like, that's why we didn't promote and win the conference, was because you were gone. That's probably the best thing to say.
I mean, I still tried to game plan. I could not devote as much attention, certainly. So, I might have gotten maybe a couple more wins. I don't know if I would have won the conference, but I had high expectations. Oh, sorry, I'm at work, and that is the autoclave here.
Gotta love the good old autoclave.
Yeah. And I had high expectations coming into the season. I thought I would promote. Didn't end up, barely survived. But, Marcus Choate is ready for next year, I think. And then my slew of 140 sophomores or whatever.
The Choate goat, he's coming. We're excited.
Yeah. But
your third best point differential in your conference. It's not, it's not bad.
I know, yeah. The third best point differential. See, I mean, look, we could have promoted.
Best, but I mean,
it's just that those guys on Dominican, they never want to win. They don't know how.
They really don't.
Come close, in a close game, you always know you're going to pull it out against the Penguins.
Brutal.
What Maine Farmington wouldn't know. They blew me out like by 20 and 30 points every single time.
It's so weird. I don't know why. I have no idea why. You should have. The reason you need to promote is because a freak team did, and that was the Beavers. They had no business promoting.
You need to add the like the Darth Vader, like the apprentice has now become the master, and I think that's like what this podcast should be, because Kyle's gotten shine like in the main Discord, like for killing it. Obviously going to Legends, I mean, that's a big deal. Yeah. I wouldn't know, but
I mean, you guys should know. Well, I know guards is Andrews. Do you guys go by Andrew, not guards?
Right? I'm totally fine with either.
Okay, cool. I know you've been to Legends, but really you guys built my teams for me through watching the podcast and then talking so much. So I always try to deflect as much credit as possible to you guys. It sounds like I'm accepting an Oscar or something. I'm going to Legends, online sim game. It's very fun, but not a lifetime achievement here. Well, no.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when you first hit me up and we started talking way back when. what the William Barger days is
Oh,
what
dude.
it was, right?
Guy was a beast. I didn't recruit him, but I've been
Right.
trying to recruit him ever since. 7-foot mammoth, 19 IS, could score on anyone. Remember one game he went 13 for 13. I got to find someone else in this universe who can do that. So I've been searching far and wide. Finally found him, Luis Meza, University of Farmington, Maine, Beavers, #1 recruit this year.
That's right. Luis Mays is coming, the legend.
That's a big one.
Finally
Yep.
got my Barger back.
Yeah. He looks like a beast. He
does. Slick and Jake was really going to work on him today, though. Ruined my confidence. Yeah, Mazy's got a problem with rebounding. He's got a problem with strength. His wingspan isn't quite what we'd want. He's a bum.
That's tough.
Take him.
So I mean, you mentioned Slick and Jake, his Northern Illinois team is also promoting to Legends along with you.
Yeah.
And like we said, you have 2 teams promoting up to Legends. You're joining like a very rare echelon of managers who I think have had 2 teams in Legends or had 2 teams reach Legends. I believe Fuzzy's done it and then dropped a team, and I think Bergkamp did it, but also dropped a team. I'm not actually sure on my history there, but
what are you saying, huh?
I was gonna say, it sounds like
saying
team. Yeah.
Are you dropping one of your teams?
I don't think I'm dropping a team this season, but there's a chance I will later. But there's a chance I do this season too. I don't know. Haven't really thought about it. I thought about it a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah, it's totally fair. Well, maybe NYU is one of them, but anyways, NYU Iowa was, I think, the one. But totally fair. I think there's a precedent established for like how to approach that, when the 2 teams play each other. So I don't think there's any, significant advantage to be gained. So, good luck. Shoot, 2 teams in Legends. It's gonna be a wild ride.
I just know that if one of my teams is set to demote and then they play my other team, with my other team, I'm going to fully tank to make sure that both of my teams can stay up. I know that I'll do that.
That's what everyone wants to hear.
Yeah, I'm going to use both of my teams to snipe the other team's opponents' recruits.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'm a really
coaches for an assistant coaching tree too, so you can just start. Good.
All the dirty tricks.
All of
I'm
them.
in it to win it.
Yep. Hey, that's we've always been about that on this podcast.
Do whatever you can to win.
Do whatever you can.
That's right. Forget having fun.
Giving bad advice, right? It took the opposite effect on Kyle. I think he took all the good advice, and all the bad advice we threw out as misdirection just didn't work. So
yeah. That's right.
Yeah,
So
what I learned from this podcast is to cheat to win.
we're glad to have sent that message. That message got across. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So in doing what little research we did before this, before recording, we saw that in fact every team promoting up to Legends will be a first-time Legends team.
Wow.
Yeah. So congrats to all of y'all, I guess. So 2 of your teams, Slick and Jake. Let's see, it was the Clarkson president, Omar Little, I believe. Sioux Falls, who has had like a crazy good year, 38-2.
They're insane right now.
Yeah. I remember when this team was like in LL4, LL3, and they had like, this was a super giant team, right? I remember they had, I don't know, it seemed like an entire lineup of 6'8" guys or taller.
Yep.
Right. And currently they have 3 7-foot or taller guys, and then another guy who's 6'11.5. So, why is he slacking?
I mean, share some of the love. I got my first 7-footer this year, I think. So
Wow.
I'd love to have a couple other ones.
Oh, well, and Sioux Falls has one of the 7-footers you were chasing with UCA, actually. Remember?
Preston Cruz. He's huge.
Oh yeah, he's enormous.
Yeah, we remember this guy.
Yeah, his dev is disastrous, but everything else about him is fantastic.
Right.
Keep weighs 290 pounds. He's a big boy. So
yeah, Angel Reyes Lake.
yeah.
Oh man, you brought him up.
Well, of course. That's the one of the main links between you and I, right? I mean, every day I get a message about like Angel Reyes' performance.
Yeah, I think you're right. I would update you every day, right?
Yeah.
The biggest Angel Reyes fan. I still am.
Should I just have you write his Hall of Fame like blurb?
Oh, you still haven't filled it in, have you?
I haven't. No.
Oh no, he deserves more.
He does. He'll get it. He'll get it along with Hoff and Span. They'll get theirs.
Oh yeah,
sometime.
I'm guilty of not writing.
And then who was the other team? Penn State was the other team. They won 2.2. So congrats to D. Stevens and Grady Kovac, and them for promoting the legends. All six of y'all.
Yep.
Or I guess five, since you're two of them.
Now you got to stay up. That's the hard part.
Now you got to stay up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I did for what?
You did, yeah.
4 seasons.
Yeah.
But then you got some freak bad luck that I'll never forget. Well, actually, both of you did. That
yeah.
this season kind of up to my cynicism on the game slightly. To be honest, because I saw like catastrophic bad luck befall both of you for the duration of an entire season. And I knew that was going to happen to me one day too.
Oh, it'll happen. Yeah, that's that.
Right.
The lesson from Hardwood is with the good times come the bad.
Yeah.
And sometimes your starting point guard will miss 13 games. Like, so that's
my gosh.
almost all conference. So it's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was like 13 of the first.
Oh, it was tough.
14,
Yeah.
right? It was like, I think he played one game.
I think he had to get a robot leg, or there was something going on. Like, he just needed a whole new part and we couldn't get it in fast enough. It was tough.
Or you could have 13 of your first 15 games on the road.
Yeah, that's right.
for me.
Back from that.
Oh my goodness.
That was insane. Yeah, that was quite the season.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember some really sorrowful Discord messages that season.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of that was just Andrew and I complaining, and then Cal being like, "No, it's bad luck. By the way, I'm killing it. Like it's everything's going great. Well, I'm landing like 8 recruits a day. Like it's fine."
Oh yeah.
I was landing a guy left and right. Like my luck was I was on fire. I'm honestly still on fire. Like everything is still swinging my way. But it's not that I'm doing anything right. You guys, it's just the way that it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way the game swings, and you just gotta try to hold on to that as long as possible, basically,
Yeah.
I mean,
momentum swings to you in a game when you're playing, right? And you score like 6 points in a row. That's just been happening to you for like 3 years. So it's good.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm getting that message. Yeah. RupaScoop has all the momentum. Will their opponents ever recover?
So Rupa, you're our guest today. Talk about your rise from, LL6, like pretty much everybody, all the way up to now entering Legends next season. I mean, what's it been like? It's a pretty broad question. Take it where you want to go.
Well, I mean, the only advice I really have to give, if you want to make it to Legends and you're an LL6, bombard Andrew, who goes by Guards, with up to 300 Discord messages a day, asking all manner of questions on tactics, roster build. Send him all your prospects, have him grade them all for you. Whichever one he says go for, that's when you go for. And then just go all out for him. And you'll wake up one day and you'll be on TPI because both of your teams have gone into Legends. That's really what it is. No, that's pretty much, actually, no lie, pretty much what I did. I asked I got to know a few other people as well. I don't want to not give them credit. I talked to Fuzzy a good amount back in the day. There was a few others, but like 95% was just me harassing Guards for as much as he would let me. And so yeah, let's see, with the Beavers, I just got lucky with a couple of recruits early. Went for size. Went for what did I go for? I like size and what do you, yeah, how should I break it down? Like what I did to get there, or like besides pester you with questions, like strategy, or should I just kind of leave it at that?
Certainly don't want to get pestered too much.
I don't think we want to. We don't want to give up the secret sauce on what makes a leopard either. Maybe we hold off on that.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm an open book. I don't care.
Explain that phrase then. I think that's one that's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I've built a monster within the last 2 minutes here. Like, what are those air traffic controllers called? Those people like guiding every single person on the Discord to Andrew. So let me save you real quick here. Actually, don't bombard Andrew with a bunch of questions. Here's what you need to do. For your guards, don't go easy on yourself. They got to be able to handle the ball. They have to pass. They have to shoot. They have to play defense. They have to be fast. They have to be smart. They have to have good size. Do that for your 1 through 3 positions. Don't ask Andrew. He'll just tell you what I just told you.
Pretty much.
For your bigs, you want them to be heavy. You want them to be big. You want them, if they can jump, that's great. But they got to be able to defend and rebound. They have to be strong. And I think they got to be able to score inside. There you go. That's the secret. Have at it. You'll be in Legends before you know it. There's nothing else.
I mean, simply put, that is a lot of what I told you. Yeah.
Just like get perfect players.
Just get perfect players. Yeah. I mean,
get perfect players.
With no comp.
You'll be good. With no competition.
Yeah.
And
That's
you're
right.
going to be good, man.
I think really though, like one of the things that a lot of players, and I know like instead of direct messages, things like that, because that can always be daunting, right? You're going to reach out to somebody that you don't know, and it's like maybe they're going to tell me to get out of here. But post in the Discord if you're not in the Discord, because that really is like an open community where I've had people that I'm going against later in that season give me genuine open feedback, and I think that stuff really does help, and it can really make or break your season. If something's going wrong, ask about it.
Yeah.
Specifically ask Andrew about it. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I'm not, you know what? Because I put him on blast so much, I'll take the heat on this. Actually, bring your questions my way. I'll do my best impression of these two. It's not and Chris too. I don't want to say Chris didn't help me at all. It's just that I didn't start talking to him until long after.
That's true.
Now every day, Chris is helping me. So
oh yeah, I think
credit.
We go through tons of Hardwood messages every day.
Every day.
I think it's pretty fun. But I remember my first introduction to you was Lamar Guillory, because I was scouting for UCA. We were in LL6, and I'm like, gosh, I gotta find. I was like, I send him over to Andrew, and I was like, this guy looks awesome. Like, I need to go in on this guy. And I see UMF at low, and I'm like, I don't know who these guys are. And he's like, there's somebody else. And I was like, shit. It's just like, he's so good. And he's been great. I mean, I know he's gone now, but that was a player that, because I feel like we all kind of watch each other's teams a little bit and kind of develop interest in recruits. That was a guy that I think did really well for you, who wasn't super highly recruited and turned out
uncontested.
Really good player. Yeah, turned out to be a really good player for you.
Oh, he was awesome. He's the template. He could do it all. He could defend, rebound. He was big. He checked all the boxes. Yeah, he really did.
Yeah, I remember that story. That's a good callback.
Yeah, Lamar Guillory. He was one of the first guys I went for. Yeah, so that's the other bit of advice, is to just go all out for the guys that you like. That's what I do. It can backfire on you. And it will backfire on me.
Yeah.
It will backfire on me, and then I'll be in LL6 again before you know it. But so far, it's worked. But it's just like a crapshoot. Because
I think every one of us has missed on players that we've probably invested a lot of contacts into. Like, I think it's just part of the game, and it sucks. And I think, you move on to the next one. Find backups. Finding backups is very important. I mean, I've had some guys that come through for UCA who ended up being really good players that I would never have recruited originally. So I think it's good advice.
UCA's had some great players recently.
Yeah,
we work on bigs who only know how to rebound and play interior defense, and it works because there'll be 2 stars from like Louisiana or Kentucky or whatever, and then of nowhere, Andrew's like, when did that guy get like 18 interior defense? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, it kind of happened.
That's right. Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah,
strict with those guys.
Talk about UCA's recruiting a little bit, because I know El Jefe mentioned it today in the Discord, and I mean, I'm a little like behind on what's been happening. I know you got Glenn Benedict, that was a big name. You have Castro. I'm definitely missing some other people though, that really made these classes outstanding. So talk about UCA's recruiting for
Yeah, so I think we got lucky, right? We had the number one player in the class generated as a freshman in Arkansas. I went super heavy on him. I like to try to recruit Arkansas players, as anybody who's in the South region will have seen that. Every now and then you kind of got to pass on a guy, but I got lucky that he was there. I put in like 130, 140 contacts into him, which isn't actually a lot for a guy who's a freshman. He was uncontested until like the start of the junior year. Then all the other Arkansas schools moved in and tried to get him, but they're not as good, so it's fine. And so they had to learn a hard lesson that I'm going to take who I want from Arkansas. But we actually landed Geronimo Maya, which is another one that he generated as a 4-star. I really liked him. It was him or a guy named Max Parr, who actually I think is going to Louisiana Tech or something like that, who's actually a really good player too. And that's kind of like the recruiting thing we've talked about before, where you have to be able to pivot, because I had to make a crucial decision. I know I sent you guys like 30 messages being like, which one of who do you like? Which one of these is better? And you kind of got to pull the trigger, because I was able to do that. And I landed 2 5-stars, like with relatively low contacts and what they maybe should have had. And then I tried to find some of those dev guys, like, I think that's what's made my team have the success we've had, which, hasn't been crazy, right? But we've gone up, we got up to LL3, we had some injuries. I think that's kind of the big tip I always want to give new players is like, scout as much as you can. Like on the flip, you should look at like 100 players in your region, like easily. I think unless you've got your board all figured out, you should be diving in, you should be figuring that out. But we've got a nice setup going on. I can't complain. We landed Dwayne Douglas last year, who's a 4-star out of Alabama. He was uncontested because I just jumped on him immediately, which was Rupa's advice. Like, you see a guy at the flip, who cares if like if your points have all gone over yet, just throw what you can into him and get those points. And it makes a difference sometimes, man. It's great.
Yeah, definitely. Both you and Rupa have mentioned just like jumping on a guy, going really hard on them. And that's typically what I've done, for players that I've really wanted, right? I mean, I've spent 150 contacts on Hoffmeister. I spent over 100 on Choate. I spent over 100 on Dominican's big man this season, Swanson, which maybe a little unadvised. I spent over 100 on Booker Callaway. Like I've gone really hard on prospects.
That's a lot lately. That's a lot of 100 plus lately. And you're forgetting a critical one.
Who? I'm actually not sure. What, losing on Pico and Hart?
No, you spent over 100 on the Devil McAfee.
Oh, that's old news, I guess.
That's old news.
Yeah. That's with my former team, College of New Rochelle. Anyways,
I feel like it was a big change you made too, Andrew. Was like the advice you gave us for forever. I remember when it was me and you and Rob talking, even was like, wait a little bit on the flip. Like me and him would be sending all these dudes, you got to offer this guy, and you'd be like, I'm gonna give it a couple days. And then, be 4 days into the flip and you'd be like, oh my God, all of my guys have received comp. Like, what's going on? And then you kind of just got to the point where you were like, oh yeah, I'm in Legends. I'm just going to kind of, do what I want and offer whoever I want.
Right.
And it's made a difference. I mean, I think when you get up in those higher levels, and I even saw it going from 3 to 4, like there's a noticeable difference when you're in those higher levels and you're pulling guys.
Yeah. I think, I'm not sure whether it's because like, I have just become more comfortable with the game, or, like noticing trends and knowing teams a little bit better, or whether it's because like, I'm in the higher divisions and levels. So I do feel like, more weight, more power. Or honestly, I think partially it's because like I have less time. So I have to just be like much more decisive on who I'm going after,
Well, I have a theory as to why. Well, I could be wrong, but when you started this game and when a lot of us did, it was still in like lockdown pandemic world, to where we had a lot more time. At least I did, because I'm with you now. It's not like it used to be for me.
Yeah.
Anyways, keep going. Sorry.
No, I think that's a good point. Like I also had more time than before. And so like, yeah, I think that's part of it. Also, just there's more actual human players. So that's, driving up the competition. And so there's just less like options without competition, or that are uncontested, right? So, for me, I still typically go for the guys with no competition. At least that's where I look for first. And that's a lot less to look through now, just because guys have more competition. Or teams are on players earlier too, like I think I saw some team, I have no idea who they are in California. I mean, I know like the college, but like they're human, but they're on like sophomores and juniors. I'm like, don't even know if any seniors committed to you.
That sounds an awful lot like USC, Andrew. You better watch it.
Well, USC, you only had one commit to take it, and you got him. No, I think it was like Pepperdine or Whittier or something. I'm like, who's running these teams now? I have no idea.
Whittier did pop up out of nowhere for a while, and they were offering and Pepperdine too, like offering a ton of guys. And it's like, okay, and we saw that in California for seasons where there'd be these teams, they get new prezes, and it's like, cool, they're on 6 recruits the next day. Like, guys were all on my watch list. Like, are these guys I actually have to pull the trigger on now? It's kind of annoying, but it's good for the game. Good for the game.
Yeah, definitely good for the game. I mean, I'm all for the competition. Just no Dominican is trying to be top in California. That's it, like.
Yeah.
I think we should spend the next 10 minutes exclusively talking about how California doesn't get enough talent, so everybody can get mad at us in the Discord. That's something I think we mentioned every flip, and you would just get people being like, yeah, imagine recruiting the Northeast, like, or stuff
Right.
like that.
Right. Yeah, Chris.
I actually still agree, though.
Yeah.
I always think.
Yeah.
I'll die on that hill.
Yeah.
My other team is in Maine. And I feel like the recruits are consistently better out, not in the state of Maine, but in the New England region.
The region, yeah.
Than they are in the Pacific region.
I think the South's the same way. I absolutely think the South, like at first I was like, oh, it's gonna be hard to get guys here. And then you see like every year Louisiana has like 3 5-star players that generate. And you're like, cool, okay, that's just a thing that's gonna happen. Or like, I mean, that's what sustains some of these really good teams like Alabama and Tennessee down here, where there's so many good players coming in, you're kind of able to scoop some up that fall through theirs.
Yeah, it sure seems like I know I've looked at the South. I've definitely looked at the New England, just because like, branching out, I've had the power to being in the higher levels, but there was a couple of seasons ago where it was like Massachusetts just had like all the, like at least guards. I remember it's like heavy in guards that I was like met my criteria. I was like, what's going on in Massachusetts?
Yeah, Massachusetts has been off the hook lately.
Like my whole coach out there do a clinic or something.
Yeah. Seriously.
Utah's that state for me. Sorry to interrupt, but I feel it's the one that I always think of. I'm like, every time I search Utah, I find some like awesome 3 or 4-star guy that doesn't have comp, and then I put him on my list, and then Utah State's like high the next day, and I'm like, oh, Tom Harris is the white whale. That guy was the monster.
Dude.
The day after I got to meet him on Tom Harris, that's when Utah State just came in and slapped me off and said, no.
Right. Yeah, I remember. I played against him the past couple of seasons, and he just messed me up a little bit. Yeah.
You needed Angel Reyes, man.
Why couldn't Angel Reyes stay for 7 years?
Why couldn't he go to get his doctorate? Maybe get some extra.
Yeah, exactly.
His doctorate.
Let's see. So I don't know if we have finished talking about your story, your rise up though, Rupa. Actually, sorry to bring it back to that. I think it's such a cool story. You starting out in LL6 pretty recently, right? When you were in LL6 back in what season?
Okay, I was in LL6 in 2000. Well, I started the game in the 2018 season, and I was in LL6 until, for Verne, I was there until the 2023 season. And so for UMF, it must have been the season before that I got out. Let's see.
2022. Yeah.
Getting there.
Yeah, you have to hop over pages.
Yeah. Okay. 2023 was my. Oh no. Okay. 2022 was my first season in UMF in Division 2.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I made it out of LL6 then. Do you guys want to see Ruprecht?
Yeah.
All right. This is
Absolutely.
my namesake is from my cats, Ruprecht and Two Scoops. And here, let me show you. Can you see him there?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's cat.
For those who don't know, Ruprecht is quite the famous cat in some channels.
I'm gonna bring him over so you can really see him. Oh,
He's like, no.
he's quite the beast.
there's Ruprecht.
Hello.
Hey, Ruprecht. Say hi.
That's a big old cat.
Oh my gosh, look how that's so.
The perspective is wild right now.
Oh my God. He's our double mammoth boy.
Oh yeah.
That's what we call him. You can do anything you want with Ruprecht. Oh, he just got scared because his brother came in.
Oh no.
That's Ruprecht. Okay.
I love a TPI pet. I think anytime we can get him on here, great. So
He's so soft. You have no idea. There he goes. Okay. So yes. All right. So you want me to talk about UMF?
Yeah.
They were the first team that I had. All right. So I was a puppy dog with Hardwood, right? I was super into it. Here's what happened. So I love basketball. I played basketball my whole life. And then the worst thing they did in the pandemic, this is a joke in case anybody gets up in arms. The worst thing that they did during the pandemic is put boards on the baskets. Out in the parks, they put boards on the baskets so you couldn't shoot around.
Yeah.
Gyms were closed, all of that. So I couldn't play, at all. So I had to scratch the itch somehow. So, and there was no NBA basketball on. So I started watching like YouTube basketball players. And then I somehow stumbled on the basketball GM game, probably through some link on some website. And I love that, but it got old kind of. Well, it's great. I'm sure it's great. It ended up getting old to me. And then I somehow found this game, and I didn't know anything like this existed. So I was like, you can build your own team, you can manage it, and they have wingspans. I remember being blown away by wingspan and vertical leap. It's awesome. It's not just like a shooting rating and a defense rating. So I got super into it. And I remember Joe Dickerson for UMF was the first prospect I really went for. And I mean, if you want, like, viewers, you can look him up on your own time if you want. But he was a 6'5" point guard with some elite skills. He could drive really well. He was super fast, like 19 speed, and he could finish. He could finish really well. And so I got him. He was 115 SI when he got on campus, and he kind of was the one who led us along the way for the first little bit. So basically, here I can be succinct here. Succinct, is that the right word? Yeah, if you're starting out and you want to do what I did, find a few players that you love. Because for me, it was Joe Dickerson at first, and then Lamar Guillory, like we talked about, and I went all in on him. He was a big man with all the good comments, and he was out of region for UMF, but he had the no preference to play
close to home. Yeah.
Comment. So that put me at a decent advantage. If I got to low, then to medium on him, other people were going to be shy to try to chase because it was going to take them a lot of contacts to compete with me. So, but I didn't stop at medium. I went all the way to high on him. It took like 60 some contacts or more and like a flip or two, but I did get to high on him. And then the other one was Rufus Steele was my main man. And he was another out of region big. He was an 11 pot. So, but he had an elite skill. He could score inside like crazy. He went from 1 to 10 inside scoring through high school. Like he started at a 1 and ended as a 10.
Wow. Yeah.
And so and he was under recruited. He was low SI to start high school, and he only ended up at like 83 or 82 to finish high school. And I jumped on him as a senior, And I managed to get him. And here's another thing. He had a will never be a good defender, will never be a good perimeter defender comment combo. But it didn't say he'll never be a good interior defender. And his interior defense grade started at 0 in high school, but went to 5 as a senior. So he improved decently in inside defense through high school. And I thought that might end up playing out well for college, that he might get up to 10, 11. And he did end up getting to 11. So sometimes you can find guys with comments that are going to dissuade a lot of competition. But if you look deeper in the graph, you'll find that they might actually be okay in those areas. Like even will never be a good ball handler comment. You can still get guys who by the time they're seniors have 11 ball handling. And if you look into the graph and see, like, maybe they will be okay there. They just won't be great. They won't be like 15 ball handling or something, but they'll be okay. And so those 3 guys, I was completely obsessed over. They were like my Steph Currys. And so I think you need that. At least I needed that to really stay invested in the game on a day-to-day basis, to root for their success. And then, yeah, man, it was like, then I got some other plug-in pieces, some other guys that I really liked. But then as they started to develop, bam, 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 just up the ladder. I still can't believe it. I don't know why, but that's what happened. So yeah.
You'll believe it whenever the flip happens, right? And you get that sweet boost on those recruits.
Oh yeah, just wait.
Yeah, you're right. It's like snowballs.
Yep.
And I won't get into I don't want to bore people with the Laverne story, but it's basically the exact same thing in Laverne. I just had a few different guys that I loved, and then Laverne's actually been kind of a crazier rise because they never stopped promoting. They went straight from LL6 to Legends without a break. Like UMF blew it last year and didn't make it to Legends, and this year that's what the podcast should be. It should be like a detective story on how on earth UMF possibly made it to Legends. That's what this should be about. Like the whole community needs to get involved and figure out what happened in the sim for UMF to make it all the way up.
Well, we don't want to give away too many of your secrets, you know.
I don't know. Tell me why.
Maybe just directly message Kyle and don't actually.
Oh yeah.
Back to the DMs. You can give him your theories. That'd be good.
I think the best theory is that Steve is just a big fan of Abbott and Costello, you know.
That's what I think. Sure. I have a big man combo, Abbott and Costello, and since then we've gotten way better. They've been actually, Abbott's been starting this year, Costello off the bench, which if you know the team, or if you know the comedy team in real life, that's probably about how it would work. So it makes sense.
I think that goes back to what you just said, like, right, having guys like Abbott and Costello, like comedians you like. I think that's goes back to building the team the way you like it, and that gets you so much more invested, right? Like you're going to recruit some of those guys. I mean, I took over a team recently that I have zero interest in logging in and seeing anything they do, like, because I just don't have any connection to the players, right? Like, and I think once you start getting some of those guys on there, like, and you see those comments in the Discord, people being like, yeah, I'm an LL6, I picked up a new team, like I just recruit on there, right? Because that's kind of what you do. And then you start to get attached and you're like, I kind of like this small forward, I want to see how he devs, or oh, this guy's from my hometown, or oh, this guy went to my high school. Like that stuff really adds to it, and it really keeps you into the game.
It really does. Yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, Abbott and Costello are not good players. Actually, Abbott's been shockingly good.
Abbott's been pretty good. Yeah,
he's been really good, but they're not supposed to be good players. I don't know why they are, but they're not supposed. But I got them because it's what are you doing? You're playing fantasy basketball. I'm a huge Abbott and Costello fan. You got to get the players that you're gonna have fun with.
Yeah. I mean, you've just hit on a lot of like things we've always preached and talked about, having fun, obviously big, doing that like deeper research, you mentioned about looking at the graph, finding those gems. It's not easy. And, you're a master at it. I've often said, like, at some point when you and I have talked, I just let you find them for me.
Yeah, he's very good at it.
Yeah. Well, so, I was like was it like a bloodhound with it for a while?
Yeah.
Like blowing like burning my eyes out of their sockets, looking at like every player in the nation and stuff. It was ravenous.
You're still good
Yeah.
at it,
Quite
man.
there anymore.
You'll see players that I haven't seen like in my state, and you'll be like, "What do you think about this guy? Like, he looks really good as a sophomore." And I'm like, "He does look really good as a sophomore." I had to watch this. Like, you do a great job at that. I think it's definitely a skill. It's probably one of the reasons that you've come so far.
Oh, thanks, man. Well, I'm getting soft now, so now I'm just like everybody else. It's like, oh, they're a 4-star. All right, recruit, contact.
Mhm.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I guess I'll still get in the dirt sometimes, but I'm not like I used to be. I don't have the same amount of time as I used to, and I've gotten lazy. I've gotten spoiled. Now I just assume that I'm gonna win because I can't explain why I've been winning, so I
Right,
just take
right.
it for granted.
Hey, that's the same thing happened to me. So watch
Yeah.
out. Be warned.
Pride comes before the fall. No, I'm not saying you were proud. I'm making a joke on myself.
Well, I guess first you have to, get a couple 15 pots, make a national title game.
Yeah,
You
I've
know,
never had any of that success. Like, there's absolutely no. I don't have anything to show for myself other than promotions. I've never like made a run or anything like that. That's
Well,
for
we're
the real
5
players.
days away.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. You get some wins in the tournament.
UMF is the worst team in the tournament. Like, if you look at their roster, you're not afraid.
We'll see. I don't know if a team that like lost like 6 games in conference or whatever it was that falls to, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Tournament's rough though. I mean, we've all seen it with our teams. Like, there's high expectations, and then your team loses by 20 in the first round. You're like, cool, I'm gonna take a 5-day break from Hardwood. This is good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah,
I
of
was
course.
talking with Slick and Jake about this. I've talked with you guys about this too. I'm cynical about the tournament. So you guys, so I'll bring this up in case anybody else is like me out there. Like, can you convince me that it's not just a crapshoot full of luck and that nothing you do matters? So like, there's no reason to be invested in the tournament whatsoever.
Well, Andrew, since we just talked before this about you putting 5 hours into a game plan, so I will let you talk about this.
There's a lot of like, hey, Lubens, you've made like an Elite 8 run or Final 4 run too, right? There's a lot of luck, definitely. But I wouldn't say like, any one individual matchup is any different than like a typical Hardwood game. Like,
Yeah.
it's just sometimes there's bad matchups and then or injuries, but I don't think it's like, oh, if you have, you're dominating center and then you're going up against a team that doesn't play good defense inside and you attack that, it's not like that's going to fail. I mean, sure, you still may not win for other reasons, but like, I'm sure that will work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I think
it's just, I don't know. I wouldn't call it a crapshoot. I think, yes, overall, in like the grand scheme of the tournament, yes, it's crapshoot. Like, but I wouldn't say like, don't invest anything, Yeah.
Yeah. I think, oh, go on. Sorry, Chris.
I was just gonna say, I think that's kind of the same way I look at it, that like, obviously compared to the full season, right? Like, you're not going to get an accurate reflection necessarily of a matchup as you would like a team playing, all those conference games. But it really just comes down to like, it reminds me of out of conference, right? Like, sometimes you just match up against teams. Like, I'll beat teams in out of conference that I think I have no business beating. And it's because my team just matches up a little better and maybe they have an injury, something like that. That's my thing I've taken away from the tournament. Injuries suck. You can get through them in a season. I think during the tournament, whenever a guy goes down, I mean, sometimes you look at it and you're like, we just don't have the depth of this position. It hit me wrong. It's unfortunate. Let's hope that we can win. If we don't, we go to next season. But I don't stress on it too much more than just what a normal game would be for me, I think, because, the tournament I've seen, I went to the Elite Eight that one year. I lost the first round many times. Like, it's just, if I win, I'm excited, but I don't expect to win in it. Maybe that's not the right mentality some of the other presidents have, but I just don't expect to win a tournament. I'm there to have a good time. So
I like that. I see what you mean. Yeah, I think I actually am wrong. I also, like, my mindset is what it is, and also I've never made a run of any kind, so it kind of makes sense that I haven't put forth the effort. Yeah, no, I need to get myself jazzed up. Maybe it just shows a fear of success, and I'm using this mentality as an excuse so that I don't have to try.
Yeah. I mean, I usually don't really care about like the first 2 rounds, and then I'll start to like, it just ramps up as the rounds go, and if I have survived, then yeah, I'll start to pay more attention, take it more seriously. But yeah, typically, like if I'm a low seed and I'm playing a really good team, I'm certainly not expecting to win.
Yeah.
And if I'm a high seed, I'm a really good team and I'm playing a low seed, I'm definitely preparing myself for that brutal loss. So I don't want to invest too much either there. So
okay, I'm gonna try this year. I'm gonna game plan for my games. I'm gonna do it.
But you haven't game planned all season, then you're breaking the formula.
I haven't. You're right, actually. I haven't game planned once all season. Maybe this is not the season to game plan. You're right. It's
so mad hearing that.
It's not the season to game plan. I could mess it up.
Yeah.
I was gonna say also, you did like beat Fullerton very badly like 2 seasons ago in the tournament. So I don't like to think you were just like, yeah, I'll just let the cards fly as a.
Whoa.
Looks like he froze. Oh no. I don't know what he wanted to say.
Yeah. I sound.
Oh, are you back? Hey, Chris.
Back.
You're back.
Okay. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably a sign to wrap it up here soon, right, Andrew?
Yeah. I mean, you can finish your thought. You can finish what you were saying.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys heard, but I was just joking about Kyle being like, yeah, I don't really plan for the tournament too bad because a couple seasons ago, I think Fullerton played with Verne in the first round and we got smoked as the favorite. That was a tough one. And the worst part was like, I watched the game and I think Kyle wasn't able to watch it like immediately. And so I just had to like, I was just waiting for him to be like, I couldn't post any of my venting thoughts because I'm just waiting for him to be like, oh, I watched it. I saw the result. Good game. And I'm just sitting there like, God, we sucked.
I remember
that game. Yeah.
I think Ralph Snyder got burned for like 30 points. And I was just like the worst. So
you were having a bad hardwood time at that time. I remember that. That was one of those unlucky periods.
Yeah. It happened. But hey, it's a fun game. I think we wouldn't be doing a podcast on it. I think we didn't think it was.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't game plan this tournament. Maybe you do it next time just because keep the mojo going.
You're right. Yeah, no, hardwood is super fun. I don't want to come across as being too cynical about it or anything. It's been so good to me. It's been ridiculous. But like, yeah, the thing is, there's so many people who know what they're doing more than I do. You could look at, all right, so I've come up from LL6 to Legends with 2 teams, and it's this great accomplishment. I don't know. So many people know what they're doing more than me. I do genuinely think that there's a huge contingent of good fortune involved for people listening. It's not like Bridger and Fury and you guys, and there's so many people who know what they're doing more than me. So yeah, I don't think I'm some guru or like my success indicates my abilities as a president at all. I genuinely don't.
Wisdom comes in many forms, I'd say.
Yeah.
Very true. That's good advice. I definitely think so.
Yeah.
All right. With that, I think we'll try to wrap up this episode. I want to mention, welcome to all the new people on the Discord and in the game overall. There's like a ton of PRs being put out like every day, and honestly, it's more than I ever expected there to be in this game. So it's awesome to see that level of activity. I hear there was a wedding in the Discord, Hardwood Discord.
That's exciting.
So congrats to C. Samuel / Carlito and Stinny. I believe that's the Tarleton States / Cesu Pueblo, and then the Rochester presidents, right? I think.
Tarleton State, they were a monster a few years ago. I don't know if they still are, but
they're still they're in LL2, I think. Yeah. So
okay, well that answers that. Yeah. Sorry, when I fell down to LL4, I just kind of forgot about. I just didn't pay attention to it. So. You'll be back.
All right.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
Before we wrap it up, can I put you guys on the spot?
Sure.
Okay. Can you make a prediction here and now as to what happens to Dominican and UCA next year? Do you guys promote, demote, or stay put?
Andrew, you want to go first? You want me to tackle it?
Sure, I'll go first. I'm gonna go bold. I think Dominican promotes. I want to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try. I think, obviously I have Marcus Cho. I've got a really good big man in Elwood Day. I think
Yeah. Phenomenal.
I've got a slew, like I said, of like a 140 juniors or sophomores or freshmen even, and I feel good about the team. Just got to put things together.
You won't be on an island for the half the season.
I
So
also won't be on an island.
Well, maybe he wins the lotto and just goes and just does his own thing. But
yeah.
I think, I want to say that I'm going to promote, like we talked, there was some talk of UCA earlier in the Discord, but I think next year will be a kind of not rebuilding, but like I think we'll probably finish like 5th, 6th in conference. And this is before knowing who you're going against, all that. But we're starting a freshman point guard, which is scary. I think even for 5-star guys, I mean, he'll probably be like 165 SI as a freshman, but it's still not, it's not the best position to be in. So I would say the year after will be fine, but we will have a really good big man next year. We'll have some experienced players. I think we lose 2 starters, but like I said, replacing a guy who's like 168 SI right now with a guy who's going to be just under as a freshman, it's not a bad spot to be in, but hopefully bright things for UCA in a couple of years. After Fullerton dropped off, I think that's the dream.
Oh yeah, you got to. What's up with Maya next year?
Ooh.
Well, he's a 5-star now, right?
Yeah.
That's tough.
Putting you guys on the spot.
Yeah, Laverne. I don't even know who you lose. You lose Stewart, right?
I don't lose Stewart.
Oh, he's just a junior.
We lose Rossi, who's always a replacement player. He started this year, but he's just like he's just he's a fine point guard, but he's nothing great. And Floyd Neverland Nowles, who's really fun, but he's not also he was never going to be he was like a bench player his whole career.
He's not like a full-time starter for you either.
He did end up starting half the season this season, but we lose those 2 guys. But honestly, I don't think that's that much. Like, we have guys that I think will be able to replace them pretty well.
So wait, Cooper's still there, going to be there?
Yeah, Cooper and Stewart still have 1 more year to reign terror upon the game.
Okay.
And all who dare step foot on the court.
And I think UMF is in a good spot, so I that's why I didn't even ask about them. I mean, I guess you'll survive. I don't know if you'll win. I don't know. And you obviously can't promote.
UMF is losing Innocenti. We're going to have a 119 SI starting small forward.
That's right. He's
yeah, that's like 125 SI by the end of the year. He's not going to improve. So, I mean, we might be right back down to LL2.
We can talk in the Discord, but I don't know. There's maybe ways around it. You got to see, I guess.
So you still are willing to give me help, even though I promoted.
I said no more help for you now that you're in Legends and higher than me too. We'll see. Of course I'll help. Of course.
No, I appreciate it. I never heard, Chris. What's up with Maya? I wanted to know your plans.
I think NAF had told me this forever ago, like planning years out for positions, stuff like that, like alternating cycles. Maya ruined it by being a 5-star whenever he wasn't supposed to be, which happens. I should have followed the graph, because I know there's information out there that will tell you when a guy hits a certain SI at a certain pot, he'll be a higher star rating, but he'll have to play next year. Alex Sowers isn't anything great, but I do love Luis Espinal, who's a freshman from Conway, which is where UCA is at. But he might be the guy out. I mean, you got to play the 5-star guys. I think that's kind of how it comes down. But I'm sure they'll all find some spots next year, I'm hoping. So
yeah,
maybe under a new coach. That's the big wrinkle. We'll see.
Ooh, yeah.
But what are you guys thinking? Maybe we do this again before the end of next season, so we can at least get some progress on how we're all doing next year.
Yeah, we'll aim for not waiting another 9 months.
We can probably do that. I think we could probably do within the next 8 months. So that's good.
Okay, good goal. Yeah, well, thanks for joining us, Rupa. It's a pleasure to have you. And yeah.
Hey, it was a dream come true, man. I grew up on this podcast. Now here I get to be. I'm on it. Totally starstruck. No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for
All
running.
right. Yeah. Well, thanks. I don't know. I forget how to sign off again. It's Total Podcast Idiots signing off. See ya.
See ya.